What's up, my fellow tent pros? Welcome back to the Pitchin Tents podcast with your host, Davis West and
Bryan Bolt.
It's a little bit different of an intro today, but we're going to talk about why this is all good stuff. It's
100%.
good for the industry. It's good for TopTec. It's just all around a great opportunity. So I'm going to open the floor up and let you kind of pave the way for what is going down.
What's transpired. By this point, a lot of people have heard that Bryan Bolt am moving to ARA. I will be employed by ARA to head up their safe tenting program. I have 21 years under the belt here at TopTec. Tough conversations last week, and it was just, an incredible opportunity, not just for me, but for the industry and where I see all this stuff going. And I think perfect timing. Certainly, TopTec is in incredible hands with Davis, who will be stepping into my role. Moving forward, it's just going to be, I think, not necessarily rainbows and all that good stuff.
It's sad, but
in the end, it's a very positive thing for a lot of people.
Yep.
And I'm the least of which, but it's, Davis and there's going to be some things happening at TopTec. They're already in motion. Could not be more pleased with my time here and talked to everybody along the way, from our president, John Siniglio, all the way down to everybody throughout the building, the people that we've talked to.
And Bryan, you're the kind of guy too that you wouldn't lay the reins in someone else's hands if you didn't think that we were in the right position to do so.
No,
so in terms of confidence in TopTec, there is none lacking moving forward.
It's part of the whole decision-making process.
Yep.
And it's not about just, leaving things behind you and walking. I've got too much time invested and truly invested in a lot of ways to just walk off and leave it to who knows what. So couldn't be more excited for what lays in store for everybody involved. And that's two big sides of the equation. And there's a lot of people here at TopTec that are gonna reap the benefits of what all was laid out ahead of time and is moving forward. And I've told some new people here. We do have some new hires here as well. And I've told them, y'all are sitting on, for lack of a better word, a virtual gold mine in terms of what this whole thing can be and what TopTec can be to its customers and beyond.
Yep. So what is let's talk about what you're going to do. What's your new role at ARA look like?
Sure. The title is Senior Director of Tenting Solutions. And so what that means is I'm going to head up the safe tenting program for ARA. And we've talked 10,000 feet early on and conceptual about where we see this going. I've already got, just true to form for me, I've got wheels turning. This thing's been the wheels have been in motion on this thing for some time, but my wheels are already turning, putting things down on paper about where I see this going. And then once I have an opportunity to sit down and start in earnest at ARA and share my vision with the people there, I think there's going to be no doubt that it's going to be as much or more than they ever intended it to be, which is good. And ultimately, I don't know exactly where it's all going because this is a new brand role, etc. But I have some really big expectations of what this thing can be, and it's ultimately going to be to the benefit of the entire tent rental world, if
Right.
you will. Right? I want to see a world where we elevate what the tent installer is. I want it to become a legitimate, honest to goodness profession because people have had so much issues with keeping labor, et cetera. So that's going to be a big part of that, is bringing the idea that being a tent installer is not just a evening or weekend job. This is a profession, and ultimately it's gonna benefit the entire industry. I even see it ultimately going into things we can, this is just from me talking. I could see it going into codes issues and that kind of thing. Let's do what we need to do to create a national code. Our customers have been playing by different rules for far too long.
Yep.
So let's see what we can do about putting the wheels in motion to give the tent rental companies what they need so that they're all playing by a single playbook.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that's going to be huge. And this thing's there's a lot of different ways that this thing can go. First things first is we're going to see what we can do to get people trained.
Yeah. And that goes back to our tent school that you had a huge arm in making it successful as it is now. So it's like right up your alley.
Well, and you're that way too. I mean, we both enjoy, being in the field, not necessarily slinging tents every day.
It's my favorite thing to do.
Well, I know, but I mean, I'm talking about getting away from that grind.
Yeah.
But that's what people live. But that grind also makes people make mistakes and make people compromise safety issues that we gotta figure out how to put all that together. And as was explained to me too, we got a lot of pieces already in play on this, and it's going to be my job to coordinate that, put them together, and let's put up one cohesive message and get it out there. Let's put something together that we can live by.
Yeah.
So
for sure.
Yep. I've been doing this. This was 21 years for me in July. And I just flat tell you, when I walked into, and John, we've talked about it since, but when I walked into John's office Thursday morning and told him kind of what was going on, my very first words were, I didn't think this day would ever come.
Yeah.
The very first thing I told him.
Neither did I.
No, I mean, I bleed TopTec blue.
Mm-hmm.
Since 2004, when I came in as a supplier to the industry, we've done some great things. We've had a core product that's been really good to us. We build just bulletproof, in my mind, the best way to put it, pole tents. TopTec is one of the leading manufacturers for a lot of good reasons, and the least of which is the people behind the scenes that are doing the work. Like I tell people all the time, you can buy a tent that I consider a commodity tent, but let me lay that beside, we're talking about vinyl, let's lay that top beside ours, and let me show you all the ways that it's different. That's not going anywhere.
Right.
Those are things that were here before I started, and they'll be here after I leave.
Absolutely. And we've always talked about too, we've never been the cheapest, but you don't get when you buy a tent elsewhere.
I tell people all the time, and I'm not saying this in a conceited way, but if you ask me what I get, what do I not get from you if I buy it from the other guy, you don't get us.
And that's something that, you've instilled in me, training me as I've grown in this company, and there's plenty of customers out there that can vouch for it. First time they've ever bought a Keeter tent from us, my butt was right there slinging it with them and didn't leave until they felt comfortable.
And train them on the right way. I always just tell people it's never going to take you this long ever again because I won't be here running my mouth. But by golly, when we leave, you're going to be trained in what you need to do to put this thing up safely, effectively, and ultimately profitably.
Right. Yeah.
So, nothing but good. A lot of smiles and stuff over the past few days since this is kind of broken here internally. I can't ask for more support than the people that that are behind the scenes. And again, I just can't say it enough. It's just such a great opportunity for everybody. So I'm not one that really enjoys people talking about me. It's been a nutty day just since this whole thing broke. When it came out at about 11 o'clock this morning, my phone's been on meltdown, and it's a lot of exactly what we're talking. Hey, congrats! But I'm also looking forward to what TopTec is going to be.
Yep.
So.
And we've got some big stuff on the horizon too. So.
Totally. New products that are being developed. And again, Davis is gonna work together to continue. I've said for some time that we need to work on cultivating a sales force, and that's gonna be a big thing in Davis's lap, is to help tell the story of what we are, who we do, and I think that's where we really, really need to double down here, is making sure people understand what they're getting. And I will always fly that flag as much as I possibly can that TopTec does it the right way, all the way around. And I cannot be more proud to spend this amount of time with people that are truly my family.
Yeah.
Right?
100%. I've said that. Heck, I even brought it up at our baby shower that you threw at your house. It was, it's
family.
For some people that do know and don't know, I left for a brief stint of time last year and got out of the industry, and then realized that tents was in my blood. It has been since I was 15 years old. And, I said that day, the baby shower, that all you around, this is my family. And I love working here. I believe in what we do here. I know that we make the best product out on the market for what we have. And I know we bend over backwards for our customers, and that's the way that I want it to be. And that's the standard that I'm going to uphold when you leave.
Yeah.
So, but
those things won't ever change. No. And
it's the golden standard, and that's what we're going to be, and that's what we're going to continue to be.
I've talked to ownership. We cannot be on better terms as I would have expected. We had somebody ask me before if I thought TopTec would be vindictive when I told them that we were leaving. I said, absolutely not, just because that's not who we are.
I mean, you can't speak for me, but I'm just kidding.
Well, it's still early. So far, so good, at least from what I could see. No, we wanted to just kind of come out with this is a kind of a special podcast just to explain the landscape and what's going on. And I thought it'd be best for Davis to make the intro because it's going to be his podcast moving forward. You know, there's just so much positive and moving on. So don't want to give a spoiler, but there will be one last podcast behind this. We've already got scheduled, and we're going to honor that. And Davis and I will be handling that jointly, and then I will sell off.
Yep.
So anything else?
That's pretty much it, man. I mean, it's cut and dry. Nothing changes in terms of our operation internally. I mean, we're just going to keep on rocking and rolling and providing the best tents we can and best customer service that we can.
That's right.
Bryan's going to go do big things. It doesn't mean that I am not going to never pick up the phone and call you because I'm probably going to still do that quite often.
I do have a new number. I'm deciding if I'm giving that to you yet.
I'll get it.
Okay.
I'll get it.
No. I'm always available. And matter of fact, right before we started the podcast, I got a call from our former owner who I worked for many years. Talked to him a little bit, and same thing is like, I'm not going to be a stranger. I am not, nor would I go to a competitor. So I believe in TopTec so much that this was the only opportunity that would really get my attention. And I feel like at the end of the day, it's a way to just leverage a lot of relationships that we've built over the years and that I've been lucky to have. And it's also a true blessing that my phone's as busy as it is, as vibrating right now with people sending congratulatory texts and phone calls, not just to me, but all of TopTec, because they know that TopTec's in good hands with Davis and the rest of the leadership. So with that said,
well,
all good, nothing but good.
That'll be it. But yeah, keep a listen out for that next podcast that we're going to be releasing soon. It's going to be a banger. So keep your phone handy. We'll have that out soon. But until then, later, taters.